Okay. Okay. Yo, my people. Welcome back to Live with Fergie. And today we are continuing our Love Island series with episode/day 13, Unseen Bits, part 2. So before we get into it, please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Hit me up in social media. Instagram is at MCFergie. And my Snapchat is Colin123. Let's begin. Michael hides in the closet, and Tommy and Joe tell him to scare people. They call over Anton, and Anton gets super scared, literally. The girls put the boys to work. So they all dress up in like the fashion of 118, the characters. And then they're literally just talking about how much they love shouting at the men, getting them to do burpees and all these different exercises. We go back to the dates with Danny. So then he brings up the question asking, are you a typical Geordie? And she's just like, what's that? Doesn't know what Geordie is. And it turns out neither does he. So I was just like, why bring up the question in the first place then? Now, we find out how to research the love drug. 1, carry out research. 2, analyze the data. 3, compare the observations. 4, collaborate with other experts. 5, take care of your apparatus or apparatus. I don't know how some of you pronounce it out there. And 6, draw a conclusion. This was to do with the whole Yewande Danny situation. Now, we find out that when Yewande's talking with everybody, she says that Danny reminds her of Obama for some reason. Like, he doesn't look like him at all, but for some reason, that's who he reminds her of. So then I think it was Yewande who then says to Anna, and just sort of like says it as a question to the girls, can you twerk? And they're just like, yeah, maybe, sort of thing. So then Anna gets up and she starts twerking. And I was just like, she's working with it. Something's going down. And then Amber decides to join in, and they literally sort of like imagine the music in their head, and they're getting the bopping going. And I was just like, oh my God, done. Finito. Okay. I see, you know. Now, Molly May feels she and Tommy are on completely different planets. She says, you look like Zeus, and then asks, what's the Greek god of the water? And I said Poseidon, but he said King Neptune. Now, I've heard about Neptune and everything, but tell me something. I could have sworn it's Poseidon, because usually you have the 3 Greek gods, Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, and their brothers, and etc. We're not going into mythology today. So we basically found out that Tommyland is another level of weird. Okay, in Tommyland, you literally wipe sweat under your arms with cushions. And then you say, don't tell anyone just because you can't be bothered. On top of that, you check if an iron is hot by like physically touching the iron. Not checking if it's plugged in or something, touching the iron. And I was just like, nah, come on. So then, on top of that, you also get massages with people mounted on your back, and you make noises as if you're having sex. Because if you saw this massage between Curtis and Tommy, they go even more in depth on it. And Tommy's just like, no, in fact, I'm not going to reiterate it. Not at all. Okay. Now, I've got here Michael steals Lucy. He literally goes, Lucy, come here. Then he sits her on his lap. And then we're presented with Joe, Sandwich Joe, with the golden bun, who tries to win her back and then eventually steals her back to his arms, I guess. Now, Anton rides Danny in the gym, because basically he's sitting on him whilst he's on like all fours, and he's like trying to like bend. I can't remember if he was rocking forward or trying to bend down, but I was just like, you're in the gym, man, you got weights. Why are you sitting on each other? Like, ugh. So then Michael asks Amber questions. But we find out that you've got to be careful, because with Amber, you've got either side, red and green. And basically, he's always getting these red moments that are just like, stop what you're doing, okay? And then the one green moment was literally when she said, I wasn't prepared for the kiss before, but I am now. And she was just like, and that was literally Ian Sterling just saying, green for go. And I was just like, oh my God. So then Joe, he's like sitting by the pool or something with Anton, I believe. And then this beetle flies towards his face, and he jumps up. Like I was just like, my God, man, it's a bug, and it like completely scares the life out of him. On top of this, we then transition to Kurt giving Amber and Amy dancing lessons in the kitchen, trying to help them keep their balance and stuff. And I was just like, it's Ian Sterling's classic line: "Seek advice from a professional ballroom dancer." Now, after this, Curtis then lets Amy know she's had a little bit of a nip slip. And the thing is, Ian Sterling's comments were just completely funny, talking about how he believes Curtis is the only man who's ever told a woman to put her boobs back in or put her nipples back in. And I was just like, oh my God. So we then transition to a Grease montage for Curtis and Amy. We then get to the hideaway where he actually mounts Amy's back to give her this top of the back massage with the oils and stuff. And we essentially see the good and the bad moments that they've had. And yeah, it just deepens into that. Hello to the people who have just joined. Please feel free to let other people know this live is happening. Now, Curtis, Danny, and Tommy basically sit together and they level with each other and they start deeping the show, deeping life, deeping true love. And Tommy's quote that I got here: "Life's a game and love is the prize." And I was just like, yeah. And he was talking about how very few people find it. And I was just like, my God, where is this conversation heading? Like, these guys are going on another level. So then Anna gave Anton this back/head like scratch massage thing. And he was just like, oh, this is the most contact I've had since I got here or whatever. And everyone's just like, oh my God, like really feeling it for Anton. Now, Molly May asked, oh, this was disappointing. This was disappointing. Okay. Molly May asked Tommy, what's the capital of France? There was no response. He was in a daze, just like, you gotta help me out. And then he said, what's it begin with? And she said, no, I'm not telling you that because then it would make it way too easy. And the bottom line is, he didn't know the capital of France is Paris. And she had to tell him that. But then again, she didn't know when World War I started. She thought it started in 1964. And then on the other hand, Tommy didn't know the capital of France, but he knew the answer to pi was 3.14. So then Ian had this comment about how he didn't pay attention in geography class because his geography teacher must have been some bald-headed dude who was boring or whatever. And clearly in his maths class, he had this stunning female. Now, Danny, Yewande, Amber, and Michael discuss first dates. And the bottom line is that they're going over who should pay first and etc. etc. And we find out that Michael truly sets the standard because we find out that he met a girl, for example, today, asked her, what are you doing tomorrow? And she said, oh, nothing much. And then he goes, you want to go to Paris? And they literally went to Paris for the day as their first date, okay? And then he even took her to Disneyland. First date, just after meeting her the day before. I was just like, wow. Mad props, mad props. So then Danny was talking about, listen, you've just set a standard. So if you and Amber make it throughout this, she's going to be expecting some big things, you know? Now, the new thing is Grafter Chef, where we basically come to the point where Maura and Elma enter the villa. And I was just like, okay, so what are we going to see now? And the bottom line is, Tommy can't cook. This was literally his plan. He fully said, I'm going to toast 2 slices of bread, put some cheese on it, put some ketchup on. So, and then I think some tomato. And I was just like, no, just no. Oh, come on, sort of thing, you know? Okay. And then we find out that Danny, he didn't really cook anything. He just found what was fresh and what could be eaten as it was and presented it. For instance, olives. Now, Anton was gassed because I think it was spaghetti carbonara. Oh God, excuse me. Michael tried it and was just like, that's it right there. And then Anton was just like, yes, sort of thing. Then we also find out Tommy and Michael both can't make desserts because Danny even offers, do you want to pop this dessert into the oven, Michael? And he's just like, nah, it's just bananas. Let's just get out there. And I was just like, okay, how many of these men can cook or bake, you know? Curtis then gives Tommy a pep talk, and this, I believe, is after the heated discussion with Molly May about how she feels he's fed her lies all this time, and etc. etc. So then afterwards, Tommy then decides, or as Curtis is saying, you gotta breathe in and out, take deep breaths. He then decides to let out this silent but deadly fart, and Curtis is just like, nah, that was uncalled for, etc. Now we get an island news special report of Hurricane Mora, which, in summary, they just literally blitz over all of the beef and drama that's gone through with everybody. To be honest, Mora makes the most appearances, but it really involves everyone. Then we transition to Curtis and Amy filling in Elma on everybody's status, talking about how I'm gonna act as if I'm Amy. Myself and Curtis, we're like the first official couple. Then you've got Joe and Lucy, and then a little bit between Michael and Amber, but then everybody else is sort of just still single sort of thing. Now, Mora doesn't like guys that shave their legs and do their eyebrows because she feels she needs a man, which is why she did not pick Anton, because that's like a huge turnoff for her. And she didn't even want to give it a second thought. So, as you all know, when the guys go out for the spa day, the girls are left to the villa for themselves, and they decide to take photos. And Anna believes, nah, she's not going to be good for him or whatever. And the photos basically involve Anna, Amber, and Yewande. So they got some memories. And we also got to see all the different types of kisses you can witness on Love Island. And we finish with what will happen with everyone. Tell me, what do you think is going to happen to all these couples? I mean, I didn't have enough time to write all them all down, and I wasn't about to use all that ink. So we have come to the end of this video. I'm hoping you've enjoyed. Please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Add the Snapchat colon123. Follow me at MC Fergie on Instagram. Peace and God bless.